So I will bring in a piece of logic I made, and we'll probably rebuild it because that's what we like to do here at TAPgiles streams. No, that's not what we want. So the timer is actually in here now. We've got this timer in here. So we just set the speed using that, and then we need a max time. And all this is a timer. It's not a special thing for timelines or anything. It's just a timer that loops. You can get it to loop when it increases. Like if you go like that, then when it gets to the end, it'll pulse and reset itself, so then it can keep looping. But that doesn't work for if we have a negative value and we're on the speed setting. Speed. That's interesting. Why isn't that working? Plug that in there. Speed. Oh, because we're already at the start, aren't we? So then if we go negative, it will go back to the beginning, but then just get stuck there, and there's no easy way of getting that to loop, just with a timer. Which is why I've got this crazy logic. So I'll set it to something like that. Plug that in there. And now, as we move right, we'll make that a shorter thing, I think. Oh, hey, Keld. Thanks for saying hi. Yeah, so moving. Oh, now we have it inverted. Yeah, so pushing left will make it increase, and if we keep increasing, it loops. If we push right, it'll decrease, and when it gets to the start, it will go back to the end, like so. Cool. So then in practice, let's see if it loops. So it loops okay that way, and then around the other way. Loops okay that way. Awesome. So so let's try building this, shall we? Something to do. Cool. So for testing, we probably want. Actually, I have a. It shouldn't take too long actually. So let's just stick a chip down. So we have a node for speed and one for max time and one for the output of its progress. And we'll just grab that again, plug that in there, and this was, we want this one for the speed, so don't need it so large like that. That'll do, and plug that in there. So unfortunately it is a bit complicated, but let's see how far we get in this one stream. So so the max time, I'll just give these colours actually, just so I can remember which is which. Okay, so the max time, we just want to set the max time and that's it. Speed, we want to set the speed, and we want to set the speed mode and give the output there. So let's get a little visual thing so we can see what's going on. So it's increasing, now it's increasing slowly, now it's decreasing. But of course we have that same problem. So I'll probably be referring to this now and then. Yeah, so if we want to know if we are, first we'll fix the problem where it doesn't loop around the start, around 0, and then we'll actually have to solve it again for the end looping, because this method will mess up the other fix. So yeah, so we want a calculator. So if we're at 0, this is the progress, remember, not the time. This is from 0 to 1, from there to there. So if it's at 0, it's always at the beginning. So if we're at 0 and we got the speed, so you also want to know if the speed is less than 0, so we're trying to go earlier than 0. So let's just power that. So this means that if we're at 0, then we check to see if we're trying to go before 0. If we're trying to go before 0, we can do other stuff. So we'll plug that in there. So it's kind of like an AND gate, but sometimes it's a little cleaner to just power the next check, and it also kind of means that you don't have to do both these checks all the time. You always have to do that one, but you only have to do that one sometimes. Oh my goodness, what was that? So what do we want to happen there? We want to so there was a number of tries at this, and this is the one that worked. I'll just skip to the end of the one that actually works, the method that actually works. So we're going to do some crazy hacky stuff by using nodes to manually set this value. So if we're at 0 and we're trying to move down past 0, then we want to set it to the full value. So so for that I used a port oh yeah, and I used this is the max time, by the way. So I use that to set the current time, but the rest of the time I use its own current time to set the current time. Now let's have a pulse, and I'll just use a keyframe. So normally we just want it to play at the speed it's receiving, which is 0, so let's increase that. So now it's playing. I'll make that a bit shorter. Okay, but then when we have When we want to loop to the end, we'll keyframe that one off and that one on, which should flicker it to the end time, and then let it carry on playing. It works. Unclear what was going on with the other demonstration, but the actual solution works, so that's good enough for me. And now we want a similar setup for when it loops around the top, because if we do that, then logic is going to get confused basically. So we'll have similar thing like this, and we need that one, and we want to see if it's at 1, and if it's at 1, then we want to be able to set it. I'll make sure that's not got that recorded. So we want to set it to 0. So because it hasn't got anything coming in, then it will just send out a 0. Let's get these wires a little nicer. Yeah, and it's easier to understand what's happening. And that was flickering around now as well. So when that is over, oh, why does it say 1? I think I said the wrong thing. So if it's over 0 and it's already at the end at 1, then it will flicker and do some stuff over here. So let's keyframe that one. Oh, that was already on. So keyframe that on and that one off. Whoa, now it's freaking out. So we'll leave that off. So just make sure counting down works. Okay, and then it'll count up. No. Oh. Well, that'll help. And it works. So that is basically what's going on in here. You got the greater than and less than, and the equals, and the pulse, and the I got some extra logic in here for some reason. Can't remember why, but that's how I made this logic.